bills, we leaving the hard times, dealing with the struggle, the hustle of coal mines. It wasn't a gold mine, it hurt us in due time. The beauty of Appalachia ruined by health crimes. Why chill those holes we gotta fill? Politicians need to help but they signing corrupt bills.
I was fortunate enough to take a trip with a team from the Episcopal Church to Liverpool in 2019. We spent a lot of time learning about the town's history, about its roots in slavery. Along the way, we met a priest named Father Malcolm Rogers. He's been at the forefront of racial reconciliation in Liverpool, and one of the things that I think drove me to that was his story with British teen Anthony Walker. I would encourage folks to look up the story, but it's one of the most horrific hate crimes that I've ever heard about. So Anthony's song is about what happened that shouldn't have happened.
It's hard to hear that you lost your life. A fateful night full of inner spite where the hate was ripe. July 2005 was your last day to be alive. Only 18 years old with a soul so deprived. Babysitting, doing good deeds. You never would have guessed where the rest of your story might lead. We just try to use the music to tell that story. Talk about what's going on in society. Make everybody feel welcome to the conversation.
As we look in our local communities, as we look at our nation, there are struggles, there are challenges, and there are a lot of reasons to despair. I went through my own dark night, if you will, after the death of George Floyd, and just feeling like why are we hunted? Why is America hunting us? And why has America hunted us as long as we've been here?
One swing of an ice axe and your lifeline went flat. We would find out later these kids were racist. That's the tragic fact. But here's a promise, you didn't die in vain, because Black Lives Matter. We gonna ease some of that pain.
I'm from Floyd County, Kentucky, and it's as deep in rural Appalachia as you can go without having to turn around. It's a region made up of folks who powered an entire nation, and they often did it with zero thanks, and they don't have much to show for it. And a lot of the music that we grew up with back there was kind of still untouched from the outside world.
It's farewell, but it's never goodbye. We got a movement going on, but I promise I'll stop by. My dad was in the military for 27 years, so I just happened to be born in Germany. The first half of my life, I spent it traveling a lot, lived in 7 different states. But home for me is definitely Baltimore. I've been there since I've been 18 years old. I'm 41 now. I grew up on hip hop music. I loved the culture, how they dressed, how they wore their hair, the kicks, you know, the shoes. It wasn't just the music, it was just the style and the culture that I loved as well. In these uncertain times, I can deliver things really tricky, smash a lot of syllables, say a lot in a small amount of time. Just have a way with my words, and that's what people always told me.
I've been really fortunate to do a lot of things in the music industry that I never thought I would have been able to do in various capacities as a producer with a lot of country artists, just as a musician, or I would have worked in the studio where the record was made or produced. And I also run a publishing company with some partners that I have in Toronto, and they work in hip-hop music and pop and R&B, and we filtered that through Nashville into a country music system. I
write a lot for TV, films, and games. I work with Netflix a lot, WWE, ESPN, NFL Network. I work with the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. I'm a spoken word artist. I do reinterpretations and write new material for them. Also, I go into disability centers. I go into gang-affiliated villages a lot of times and talk to them. A lot of underserved youth.
Wordsmith and I were friends before this concert started, before the series started. The music part has been what's allowed us to have those conversations and hopefully start breaking down those walls. After George Floyd was murdered, a good friend of mine said, hey, listen, this music and everything you're doing is cool, but Wordsmith needs the podium right now, because he can say things about what's going on right now in a way that needs to be heard, in the way that only he can tell it.
For the mission, for religion, for the Black Lives lost at the cost of the system.
There was, this wonderful kind of creative spirit going on in our communications department about these beautiful spaces and how inspiring they are, and what if we could do concerts in these churches?
The coolest thing to me is that it's given a platform for folks like Wordsmith, folks like myself, all the people we make music with, to share what the world is like for them, because nobody's happy right now. Nobody's okay with how things are on either side.
Couple things I admonish, my soul could use some solace.
Now we are finding the spaces and building out the tour dates, because people are yearning for healing. They're yearning for hope. Really all the things that I feel when I sit in this church right now, and certainly when I hear Kory and Wordsmith. So it really made sense to us that if we were going to be filming and talking about the concert for the human family, this concert that's all about building bridges, we would want to do that right here at the Advocate. Philadelphia is where the first Black priest was ordained in the Episcopal Church, Absalom Jones. It's where the first Black Episcopal Church was founded, St. Thomas. And this church, Church of the Advocate, was the home in 1974 for the first ordination of women in the whole Episcopal Church. So many of us think of this church as kind of like a cathedral for justice. We've done virtual concerts here in Philly, Lexington, Kentucky. The one we did in Cincinnati, Ohio was in person. So we've gotten creative about how to do this.
What's most important to me at this point is that everybody feels welcome to come and watch a concert, same as they would any other concert. I want folks from every background, from every political belief. Our goal is to get people open to talking with each other.
This little light of mine.
The conversations that I've had with Candace Spellers about her own experiences as a Black woman in America, the things that I've just been able to listen to and to take in, they're life-changing.
I'm actually thinking about getting a tattoo, and it will say, "Hope is my superpower." I don't know how we survive without hope. We all need something that we can look to and say, like, a better world is possible. And I could be a part of that.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine.